Footprints in the sand, all the way to the pier. Must be 100 times I've walked along here. See the two islands, dark ships in the sea. I used to dream of having one just for me. Nightstone Theatre, remember Beryl Reid. It wasn't Miami, but it's all we'd need. And sometimes I think about footprints in the sand. Footprints in the sand, 1963. Picture of my dad, looks a bit like me. I remember those summer days, me and my brother running, dodging the waves. Western Supermare seemed a long way. Even then the old pier had seen better days. Sometimes I think about footprints in the sand. Paddle a boat out on Marine Lake. Even the Beatles played there. Hold on for a donkey ride. We all loved a day at the seaside. Early morning, I was on the road. Uncle Arthur's Morrissey struggled with the load. Sand in my toes at the end of the day. Feet under the cold tap to wash it away. Squashed in the backseat, the whine of the gears. Watching the cat's eyes shine and disappear. Sometimes I think about footprints in the sand. Paddle a boat out on Marine Lake. Even the Beatles played there. Hold on for a donkey ride. We all loved a day at the seaside. Early morning, I was on the road. Uncle Arthur's Morrissey struggled with the load. And sometimes I think about footprints in the sand. I still like to leave footprints in the sand.
Welcome back to another pumpkin session. This time we have local man Colin Pitts with us in the van here in Earl's Croom. Welcome, Colin.
Yes.
And you're local, aren't you?
I am, yes, from Evesham.
Yeah, yeah. You lived all your life there?
More or less, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Born in Cropthorne. And,
Yeah.
now live in Evesham. Yeah.
Which is where Pumpkin lives.
Yeah,
Cropthorne.
exactly.
On his days off.
Yeah,
Good place to keep it.
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
So what's music like in Evesham then?
Improving,
Yeah.
actually. Yeah, there's quite a few places now to play, and there's a lot of interest in the songs that I've started to do about Evesham.
Yeah,
Doing an event in June
right.
this year about songs and poems about Evesham,
Cool.
called the Old Asam Road,
Ah.
which is happening in the chapel in Oak Street.
Oh, right.
That'd be
So that's
lovely.
another venue that's come on stream.
Yeah.
Did a concert there last year,
Yeah.
which was very successful, and so people started to use that as a venue as well.
Okay.
And of course there's the Folk in the Foyer is going at the Arts Centre now,
Right.
on a regular basis.
Yeah, I've been there. Yeah, it's good nights.
And a place called the Red Lion in Market Square
Right.
runs sessions, and
Okay.
a thing called Lazy Sunday, which
Yeah.
is acoustic musicians.
Wow.
So it's
Yeah.
it's starting to get interesting again.
Okay. So how long have you been playing for musically?
Oh dear. Since you were a boy. I don't know. I think I was 10 or 11 when I first started playing the guitar.
What made you pick it up then?
The Kingston Trio,
Yeah,
Right.
I remember them. They
Okay.
did
Tom Dooley,
Tom Dooley. Yeah.
Oh.
followed by Pete Seeger,
Yeah.
followed by Bob Dylan, of course. And I've been doing it all the time, really. Not for a living or anything,
No.
but
No.
just doing it.
Okay.
But I didn't start writing songs until about 30 years ago.
Right.
The odd one, and then it sort of started to come more and more, and I released a couple of albums in the early 90s on cassettes. Do you remember those?
I remember they're
Yes,
coming back
of course.
apparently.
Well, along with vinyl, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some kind of new gadget now where you can click it on there and put a
Right.
cassette in and it just plays.
Really?
Yeah, I was reading about it
Technology
yesterday.
today.
Oh, there you are.
Okay, well, I'll fish them out and put
Yeah.
them on sale again.
Exactly. Get
was,
them out there.
Australian Wine and Across the Great Divide.
Yeah.
Those were, and then CDs for me started towards the end of the 90s.
Okay.
I did one, then I got really sick for
Yeah.
quite a few years. and
Right.
Was basically out of action for about
Yeah.
10 years.
Yeah.
But since then I've been back in action. I've got done 2 CDs in the last few years, and it's going pretty good.
Yeah.
Do you go to studios or do you record them yourself?
Studios.
Yeah.
The last one was, I suppose, 4 or 5 miles from here.
Right.
Over at Breeden.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A guy called Dave Pick.
Yes.
Right.
I've heard of
Yeah.
him. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Dave Pick is quite possibly the best producer I've come across in
Oh, wow.
my time.
What makes him so good?
Well, he's a driver,
Mm-hmm.
which for me is a good thing, because I'll kind of think, oh well, that's
Yeah.
it, we're done there.
Exactly.
But
Yeah.
Dave says, maybe not.
Yeah.
Maybe we should try. And so it goes on, and you end up doing it a little bit more, and
Yeah.
come out very happy with the result.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was lucky to be able to, on the last album,
Yeah.
Where the River Bends, I was lucky to get Johnny Coppin
Wow.
on backing vocals,
Wow.
Paul Burgess on
Yeah.
recorder, and a young lady called Charlie Hayes on fiddle, who is absolutely phenomenal.
Really?
Really.
Playing the fiddle, yeah, she's
Wow.
so good, yeah. And so well organised
Yeah.
in the studio, she just came in, and she'd gone to the trouble of writing out all the dots, everything was ready.
Oh, okay.
Just great.
Have you always been solo, or have you been in a
Well,
band, or
I've played with other people for fun, but performing wise, yeah, so
Yeah.
do you prefer? Yeah.
I like it, yeah.
Yeah.
I sounds crazy really, but I mean, since I was, I don't know, 12, something like that, early, 62, 63, that kind of time, the idea of the person with the guitar
Yeah.
performing,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've always liked that. It's always
Yeah.
appealed to me.
Sure.
Yeah.
And one of my great heroes, a fellow called Alan Taylor, don't know whether you know him, he wrote a song called Good to See You
Right.
in the 70s.
Okay.
It was a big hit for
Yeah.
Frankie Miller, I think, in America.
Right.
I've always been a big fan of his, and I've met him loads of times,
Yeah.
and even supported him a couple of times on gigs.
Right.
And he's like that,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
person with the guitar case and
Yeah.
travelling. Always struck me as cool.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Hey, that's another thing cool. You've played at Radio 2. You got some kind of connection, haven't you?
Well, I have been on Radio
Yeah.
2, yes, a long
Yeah.
time ago. It was at Redditch Folk Club,
Yeah.
Right.
and there was an event with Eliza Carthy, and the fellow who was running it was a guy called Dave Burland, and he asked me if I'd do the second slot on it. And what it was, he was doing a tour of folk clubs with this radio show. I think he did about 10 or 12 of them around folk clubs all around the country, and one of the ones he chose was Redditch, and as I say, he asked me to do the support bit.
Correct, yeah.
And so I ended up, yes, on Radio 2.
Yeah.
And that's not the
Which is
only
a-
place of notoriety that you've played, is it? You've played in a few other...
Well, yeah, I played at the Troubadour one
Yeah.
time in London, which was,
What was that like?
well, it was stunning, really,
Yeah.
to even get there.
Yeah.
How it happened, I wasn't like named guest or anything, but
Okay.
what happened was Martin Windsor, who used to run it, he's dead now, sadly, but he used to come to a folk club we had in Evesham quite often. He liked us, we liked him. And he invited me down to play at the Troubadour, because he was running it at that time with Red Sullivan.
Yeah.
And this was in the 70s, early 70s. So off I went down to London, played in the Troubadour, and actually stood on the same bit of stage that Bob Dylan had been on
Amazing.
10 years earlier,
Yeah.
I mean, that was, and Paul Simon, of
Yeah.
course, as well.
Yeah.
So, Bob Dylan, Paul Simon, me.
Oh, blimey. You must have been on a high for months.
Well, as I say, I wasn't like a book guest or anything, but I did a little feature spot, I guess. I played about 30, 35 minutes, something like that.
Yeah.
So
Brilliant.
it was quite the occasion.
Yeah.
And there've been one or two bits and pieces over the years. I once performed with Tom Paxton. On stage and also in a songwriter workshop. There was a picture in the Coventry Evening Telegraph of us with another guy called Dave Summers, who's a good songwriter. And in this picture, we're all happy, smiling. What's actually happening is that we're singing my song, Australian Wine, with Tom Paxton on backing vocals and guitar.
Oh, incredible.
I mean, what's that about?
Yeah.
But we got on very well, when we met. And his wife, Midge, is very nice, and I got talking to her a lot. This was at a festival at a place called Coombe Abbey, near Coventry.
Right.
So,
Talking of songs, what are the 3 songs you're going to do for us today then?
Well, I thought I might do Footprints in the Sand, which appeared on the March Monday Morning album about 5 years ago, which is a song that's about going to Weston-super-Mare.
Wow.
Which, when we were kids, that was the seaside.
Yeah.
Used to go in my uncle's Morris 8 in Bath. It's really weird, actually, because when I wrote it, 3 weeks later the pier burned down. And
he's a bit of a jinx.
Well, there were those who suggested that this might have had some connection, which of course it didn't. But the song did end up on BBC Radio Somerset. They played it quite a few times over the first few days, and then it was on their website for quite a long time.
Okay.
So it was, so there's that one.
Wonder what's going to happen to Pumpkin in the next couple of weeks.
Get a fire extinguisher, put in our front there.
Oh dear. Well, now the other one, another one I'll do is I think Sailor, which I wrote for my dad,
right,
who was a sailor in the Royal Navy, from 1926 to just after World War II.
Okay.
And the third one I think would be the Asom Road.
Across the water lights the boats out in the bay. I think I'll row to the nearest one and quietly sail away. I point my bow to the ocean, my compass set to the north. Leave these icebound barren lands and the shimmering empty shores. I'm coming home across the ocean, I'm coming home, the tide's on the rise. Sail my boat to England where my heart lies. There's many things I must tell you when I step out on the quayside, about the gales and the dolphins' tails and life on the other side. These icy echoing canyons like cathedrals rise from the sea. You can hear the screams of broken dreams, but the quest is not for me. I'm coming home across the ocean, I'm coming home, the tide's on the rise. Sail my boat to England where my heart lies. blizzards and icy breakfast, all day in oily lamplight. A cigarette and a photograph are my only friends in the night. Sometimes the ocean cries out in the darkness, calling me. The wind beats on the mast like a song, but the tune is inside me. I'm coming home across the ocean, I'm coming home. The tide's on the rise, sail my boat to England where my heart lies. Across the water lights the boats out in the bay. I think I'll row to the nearest one and quietly sail away. I point my bow to the ocean, my compass set to the north. Leave these icebound barren lands and their shimmering empty shores. I'm coming home across the ocean, I'm coming home. The tide's on the rise, sail my boat to England where my heart lies, where my heart lies. Church wall, blackbird and a sparrow, silver plane high overhead, straight as an arrow. Morning traffic creeps along where the sparkling river runs. They're all going down the old Asum Road. In my mind I can see the Worcester mail coach coming, rattle on the bridge into town, laughing children running. Then it stops at the Crown, weary passengers stepping down. They're all going down the old Asum Road. Rides a bike by the river, he stops to lean on the stile. Morning trains picking up speed, he watches a while, and the years roll away. Last night I sang my song, a lot of people sang along. They said they was glad I'd come around, be sure to call when you're next in town. Then it's back in the car, just me and my guitar. street lamp shines. Between those white lines, as I go down, I'm going down the old Asom Road. I'm going down the old Asom Road.
My thanks to Colin Pitts for a wonderful session. Don't forget you can check us out on Facebook, YouTube or Twitter. We'll be back soon with yet another session.